Hello everyone and welcome to the Impact Play, impacting more than just gaming. I'm your host Mohammed, otherwise known as It's Yagu, and we are your one-stop news hub for the latest and greatest across gaming, tech, entertainment, sports, and music. Plus, we will also amplifying voices from those respective fields and having this installed here on the Impact Play. The support keeps the lights running and keeps the content rolling. You can support us over at anchor.fm/ImpactPlay, where tier 2 supporters and above have access to exclusive content, including the post show, getting the show ad free, and more. Or you can even support us by using the Epic Creator code at Epic Play. We are Epic partners, so with every purchase you make within the Epic Store, whether it be Rocket League, Fortnite, or even Fall Guys, no matter what you play, whatever, and no matter what you buy within the Epic Store, when you use that credit code, we do get a commission and a little bit of a kickback. Have supported us in a brand new way at zero cost to you. Once again, that credit code is the Epic Play. It's all one word, folks. It is not case sensitive. This episode of the Epic Play is sponsored by Audible. This is the Epic Play's review cast, episode 225, where we will be reviewing the 8th episode of Shihoko Turning Out Law. So stay tuned and enjoy. So this live recording of the review cast is something that we've newly implemented exclusively for our tier 2 supporters and above. If you guys are interested in becoming a supporter or to learn more, be sure to join our Discord server. But nonetheless, we will be reviewing the 8th episode, and this will have a little bit of spoilers, so just a spoiler warning for you folks. We'll try to keep them at a minimal. But nonetheless, you can sign up for your free 30-day trial and immediately get access to 1 credit. And if Amazon Prime, you get access to 2 credits. And it's good for any premium title. Simply go to audibletrial.com/theimpactplay. Once again, the URL is audibletrial.com/theimpactplay. So, on last week's show, we did, I should say in the last week's show, we got a little bit of how Jen, a little bit of Jen's story. We got a little bit of self-identity of Jen, both Jen and She-Hulk. And on this episode, it starts off with, we saw a little bit of a clip before this episode began of the so-called Frogman, which we learn more of, that he ended up being a new client for the She-Hulk, representing him in a supposed case of suit malfunction. So he ended up getting his suit from this famous superhero costume designer. I believe his name is Luke, if I'm not mistaken. Let me see. Luke Jacobson. And the only reason why that he ended up getting a suit made was because his dad's rich and famous. That's essentially it. So he decided to play a vigilante, and of course got his butt handed to him, and pretty much suffered burns. And then what was funny was as he was taking off running away, he took off like Iron Man and came crash landing, which is funny. But nonetheless, so I pretty much hired Jen's firm to, like I said previously, to, I guess, sue his tailor, saying that it was supposed to be fireproof, but ended up what happening was, and actually no, before we get into that, we finally, as we were waiting for Luke's lawyer to get in, it took a minute, ended up being Matt Murdock. Matt Murdock, aka the Daredevil. So we finally, hold on. Matt Murdock. So we got a glimpse of him. So as soon as we saw him, we knew we're gonna be seeing Daredevil as well. So we saw both of them in this episode as well. So what happened is what was this kid's name? So yeah, Eugene, Eugene, literally. So he ended up moonlighting as the supposed leapfrog. So what happened was is he ended up losing his case against Luke because you weren't supposed to you decided to do something against this dude regardless of his warnings, and he told me not to put jet fuel, and he ended up doing. So fast forward a little bit, Jen and Matt are at a bar. Matt invites Jen. Pretty much, they saw each other there. They got a drink together, and then fast forward. The what's his name again? Luke? No, Eugene ends up calling Jen, saying he's being physically. He's at the brink of being physically harmed by Daredevil. So fast forward, Jen hops in, and we finally saw a glimpse of her super suit, and it's nothing that I was like hyped for the super suit, and then as soon as I see it, I'm like, that's it. That's all we get. So it's essentially a one-piece romper a purple one-piece romper that pretty much fits her Jen as well as her She-Hulk alter ego. I'm like, that's it. I was expecting something great, but that's all Luke designs. So we'll have to see more of that. But nonetheless, and then the reason being because, and then what was also another surprise to me as as Matt's identity, Daredevil's identity was revealed to be Matt Murdock. It's not what I saw coming. Jen grabs him and then just rips his helmet off. I'm like, first off, you saw a glimpse of his helmet back in Luke's shop, so you kind of could put one and one together that he's a client of Luke's or yeah, literally, and then. So he's like, Matt, so everybody's something to be blind or what have you. That's what everybody always assumes anyways, but no. We already know the Daredevil story. I don't have to get into that again. But nonetheless, they fast forward a little bit. Daredevil and She-Hulk team up to... and the reason why Matt was, I guess, chasing Eugene was because he kidnapped Luke to create him super suits or what have you at this supposed what would he call his lair, the lily pad or whatever. I'm like, really? And then literally they team up, rescue Luke, and pretty much that's it. And then fast forward, the reason Matt was in town because he's all the way in New York is because he was grabbing his new tailored suit from Luke, and then he ended up representing him, doing him a favor and what have you. And I guess fast forward, I thought we were gonna see the gala on next week's episode because that's what it seemed like. But nonetheless, fast forward a little bit, we see Jen attending the gala in a dress made by Luke, of course. And I thought it was gonna be a one-person award, and ended up being like a 5-person award. I'm like, really? But whatever. Nonetheless, fast forward a little bit as She-Hulk was giving her speech. We saw a little bit of a cyber takeover, where the organization that was against She-Hulk ended up hacking into the gala's screens and what have you, and you shouldn't be celebrating the She-Hulk. And then they ended up showing the recording that was taken on last week's show, where it was Jen having behind closed doors an intimate relationship with someone that she met at her friend's wedding. Fast forward, we already knew that he was working with them on last week's show, at the end of last week's show. Now this week's show, now Jen knows that as well. She gets angry, of course, watches screens, and then she sees masked people running away. Essentially, she assumed that they were all part of this. So she ends up smashing through a wall, grabs one of them, and then she was warned by her friend, "Oh, don't do this." And then next thing you know, we saw guns facing towards her with her hands up, and the episode ends. So I don't know what they're gonna do, which way they're gonna go with On next week's show, is next week's show the finale? Hold on, let me find out a little bit. Let me see. She-Hulk finale. Let me see. Okay, yeah. Next week is the finale. 9 episodes. So I'm definitely looking forward to what they're gonna do or what's gonna happen. So I'm pretty sure we're gonna see. We're probably what I'm thinking is that we're gonna see her cousin Bruce in some form be involved in this. So we'll just have to wait and see on that. But as a rating, I'm definitely hyped for it. Should I give it a 4.5 out of a 5-star rating? Yeah, I'm gonna give it a 4.5 out of a 5-star rating. Because I'm literally excited for episode 8. Like this episode got me hyped for it. To what they're gonna do with the finale. What we're gonna see happen in the finale. So we'll have to wait and see on that front. Thank you guys so much for taking your time to enjoy this review cast. For everyone else, for our this will be a 24-hour exclusivity window. Once that time expires, it'll be available later publicly to our YouTube channel as well as your favorite podcast platform. But nonetheless, if you guys enjoyed this, be sure to send us for email. You have 3 ways. You have via Discord, via a voice note at anchor.fm/THEIMPACTPLAY, as well as email to reademail@mplane.com. Your feedback will either be read live here on the show or even played live here on a special segment of the show. Nonetheless, this is your opportunity to be a part of a community-driven show where we wouldn't be here without you guys listening and viewing wherever and however you are. Nonetheless, thank you guys so much for tuning in. We really appreciate every single one of you. Have a great one, folks, and until next time.